So, all these things slowly, steadily we have to understand, and we have to be practical in making all these required adjustments. Now we know after this introduction that how much time and energy consuming is this spiritual involvement, and also because of its glorious reward or the result or the outcome. Therefore, how much we have to be fully dedicated only for this pursuit, for truer and quicker and unfailing success. Put it in our own simple, ordinary language. The real spiritual evolution of recognizing the truth or the reality involves all in all attempts of ours, wherein at every moment we are cautious and conscious of what to do, not to do, so that each this moment is becoming a pathway for us to go near to the truth only, not away from it. To get into that deep sadhana, what's first required is the clear understanding. The clear understanding comes with the two ways. One is studying Shastras under the guidance of the teachers, and then our own homework of understanding these things as well as putting all of them in a proper sequence as required for our own evolution, our own personal evolution. When one goes through these tough, hard works which are inevitable, then he will be able to actually do the true sadhana. And doing all this true sadhana, though based on studying the Shastras, listening the Shastra, but only when we are stopping at the study Shastra of Shastra, not following it up with the said things, then we will not be able to enjoy that reward of Siddhi of Paramatma Prapti. So may we all, by the grace of Shruti Mata, Guru Parampara, Bhagavan, be fully clear in all these understandings, and with full patience, perseverance, the mood of tapasya, we take up one by one thing, enhancing our abilities and capacities, we perform or achieve each of these required things. May we all that way be nearing to that experience, then become instruments in the hands of the infinite. Now let us do the chanting of our Taittiriya, followed by Adhyanam with Bhashyam, followed by Yoga Darshana with Bhashyam, followed by Undaka with Bhashyam, followed by Gita. 11th chapter we started for the youth, and in the evening Bhagavatam we will see today the beautiful, that 83rd chapter of Yudhishthira Adi praising Krishna, then the meeting of Draupadi with all Krishna Patnis. Then in Adhyatma Ramayanam we will see today Brahma Deva Kruta Sri Rama Stuti. How wonderful today all our talks are discussions. End में Varahi Mata's Ashtottara Shatanama Vadi. So spend 3 minutes in chanting the mantra. Om. We are doing the last Anuvaka. No, we are doing the Ananda Mimamsa in the second Brahmavalli for our chanting. Om Bhishasmadvatah pavate Bhishodeti Suryah Bhishasmadagnistendrascha Mrutyurdhavati Panchama iti Saishanandasya Mimagam Sabhavati Yuva Syat Sadhuyuvadhyayakah Ashishto Trudishto Balishtaha तस्येयं पृथिवी सर्वा वित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात् स एको मानुष आनन्दः ते ये शतं मानुषा आनन्दाः स एको मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतं मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एको देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एकः पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दाः स एक आजानजानां देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतमाजानजानां देवानामानन्दाः स एकः कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ये कर्मणा देवानपीयन्ते श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दाः स एको देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं देवानामानन्दाः स एक इन्द्रस्यानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतमिन्द्रस्यानन्दाः स एको बृहस्पतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं बृहस्पतेरानन्दाः स एकः प्रजापतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं प्रजापतेरानन्दाः स एको ब्रह्मण आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवंवित् अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति तदप्येष श्लोको भवति यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न बिभेति कुतश्च नेति एतगंहवावनतपदे किमहगं साधुना करवं किमहगं पापमकरवमिति स य एवं विद्वानेते आत्मानग्गस्पृणुते उभेह्ये वैष एते आत्मानग्गस्पृणुते य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ विदितानमया विशदैककला न च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो द्रुतमेव विधेहि कृपां सहजां भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ श्रीवेदव्यासाय वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि तैत्तरीय उपनिषद आचार्येभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपा अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्त्यर्थम् अस्मिन् कर्मणि निष्ठितानां दिग्विजयार्थं श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः श्री आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदं चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान्नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचयिनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेद तद्वक्तारमावेद आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ तृतीया भृगुवल्ली दशमोऽनुवाकः। Let us chant from after the Manushi Samajñaha, that portion. इति मानुषी समाज्ञाः अथ दैवीः तृप्तिरिति वृष्टौ बलमिति विद्युते यश इति पशुषो ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिरमृतमानन्द इत्युपस्थे सर्वमित्याकाशे तत्प्रतिष्ठेत्युपासीत प्रतिष्ठावान् भवति। तन्मह इत्युपासीत महान् भवति तन्मन इत्युपासीत मानवान् भवति तन्नम इत्युपासीत नम्यन्ते स्मै कामाः तद्ब्रह्मेत्युपासीत ब्रह्मवान् भवति तद्ब्रह्मणः परिमर इत्युपासीत पर्येण म्रियन्ते द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः पर्ये प्रिया भ्रातृव्याः स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवंवित्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Friends, as we were discussing in the introduction, the Vedantic Marga of Moksha spirituality is a complete exhaustive path to be traveled, having known every of the details and practicing every detail that is known. And that's why staying with the Guru, knowing all the details, superficial, grosser, subtler, intricate, the disciples staying with the Guru only for some sufficient time till they get up the habit of knowing and doing the sadhana perfectly, then are staying in the with the Guru or going somewhere else, they continue the path till they reach the truth, which may take a decade or two or three, even many lives also. We have to be very clear about it. So when we come to this Upanishad now, Taittiriya, which we are studying from almost a good, quite a big period of time, the Shiksha Valli, the Bhrugu Valli, Brahmananda Valli, the Bhrugu Valli, every of them, every Anuvaka has given us total details of intellectual understanding and conviction, and practically what to do to make that conviction one's own anubhuti. Now, all those we studied, whether we remember or not. Now we are into the Bhrugu Tritiya Valli. In this, the 10th Anuvaka we came. So, as was said just now and earlier also introduction, every of these things we have to be mindfully doing the practice and also seeing the consequence of it. That's how the spiritual sadhana is done. The result is seen. Again, the next step, next step. Just like a highly qualified, highly intellectual, highly matured, highly alert scientist, any of the experiments or any discoveries he takes up, how he is meticulous in every step so consciously. He is more mindful of putting each step so perfectly than any worry about the results or any worry about agitations about what in the present also regarding anything. He is not perturbed, he is not disturbed. He is mindful of the steps to be done only. In the same way, a higher level spiritual seeker is he who is conscious and mindful about the steps to be put, not bothered about the result, because when the steps are put right direction and right way, result definitely comes. So here we have seen the three things were told to us as if the summary of the entire sadhana to be done as per this Upanishad or all the Upanishads. So the 5 plus this 6 plus this 6, these 17 are the upasanas we are given in this 10th last Anuvaka. Before that also 7, 8, 9 we were given lot of upasanas. And in the 1 to 6 we have seen the Bhrugu Upakyanam Akhyayika Valli, where Bhrugu having got guidance from Father Varuna, Guru Maharaj, how he embarked on perfect, beautiful tapasya of transcending one by one gross koshas, entering through the Vijnanamaya to his own self and got liberated. Before that, to inform us and inspire us, the entire most beautiful Brahmananda Valli was there in picture, right from giving us the Sutra Vakya of Brahmavidapnoti Param up to the last thing as just now we chanted. सतप्येष श्लोको भवति यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा स्वः आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न बिभेति कुतश्चनेति एतगगं हवावन्न तपति किमहगं साधुना करवं किमहं पापमकरवमिति स एवं विद्वान् एते आत्मानग्ग स्मृणुते उभे ह्येव एते आत्मानग्ग स्मृणुते य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषद. In this way Brahmananda told us the theoretically Brahma everything and gave us sufficient inspiration. Before that, in that Shikshavalli, we have become from absolutely raw to full familiarity. We have come to with the spiritual path by being in an atmosphere of Gurukula, right from the scratch of learning Shiksha, following the disciplines there, listening to the Guru Maharaj, slowly, slowly exposing ourselves and getting totally tuned to that, and also doing various upasanas that are told to be done at that level. So that way, if you see as a bird's eye view, this Taittiriya has got such a perfect guidance for a seeker. Only thing is, you have to fully engrossingly involve in its study, understanding, acceptance, and practice. Definitely, the result will come to any sincere seeker. Now coming to the 10th Anuvakam of the Bhrugu, the third Valli, and the last Anuvakam. So complete a subject it is. So in the first of the 5 of the instructions, the Manushi Samyak Agnyas are given of doing the Upasana of the presence of Brahman in the Manushya related doings. These 5 are only indicators and instructions. What you have to understand from it is any such what do you say, the doings that are there at the mind level, at the Manushya level, in and through all of them, see the presence of Brahman. That's called as the Upasana. That is said as Agnya here. Iti Manushi Samyak Agnya. For a Manushya to become qualified in his Manushya Vyavahara, these are the practices to be done. It is an Agnya from my side, Shruti Mata is saying, so that the required purifications, required qualifications, required subtleties will come. For whether you call it as the higher grace to flow, whether you call it as for the uh, outcome of the intuitive power, whatever the words you use, for that going to the next level of sadhana, these are the sadhanas to be done inevitably. And before that, the Atiti Satkara, etc., also told in the 10th Anuvaka. So the Ati Satkara with Bhojana and Vasati, that also Mukataha Annataha Radhyam. With that, the Mamata on any of the things of the objects or the places, etc., we have clarified it, and our attitude towards the world is expressed in the form of being contributor and a person of service. With this, all the impurities of the heart, such as the greeds and selfishnesses, that too for the bhoga of the sense organs, all that is taken care of by those first two mantras of this 10th Anuvaka. Nakanchana Vasata Ityadi, as well as Mukhatonnagam Radham. How beautiful they were, theoretically, and important they were practically. We have thoroughly seen. Then we were told in the second level about the Manushi Samajnaha. Each of them were so perfect, so clear, that also we thoroughly studied. The five of the Manushi Samajnaha were Kshemaiti Vachi. In the Vak, Brahman is there in the form of Kshema. Yoga Kshema iti Prana Panayoho. In the Prana Pana, the Brahman is to be worshipped as or seen as existing as Yoga Kshema. Then Brahman has to be visualized by us consciously as the Hastayoho Karma. Karmeti Hastayoho. In the hands as the action. See the things there in every one of them. We are using the faculties with the faculties. Whatever that are to be done, only those things we are doing perfectly. And while doing itself without any compromise at the action level, we are seeing the presence of the Brahman in them. So this is what is a vigorous exercise done. With what happens? The Brahma Vritti becomes more and more stronger. The inevitable actions which we have to do, we do them, but they won't become vasanas or any of the impediments in the knowing of the truth. That is the need of these things. देखो वासनाएं हैं इसलिए इस जगत में टपके इसलिए व्यवहार तो करना है व्यवहार is such a funny thing. Any vyavahara will create the vasanas as we are studying in our yoga darshanam. Those vasanas, tremendous when they have power, will push us only into the worldliness. That way, eternally we will be away only from the truth reality or Brahman if we are operating in this mode. Therefore, what is to be done? Our goal is Brahman only. Yeah, to bring Brahman only into picture again and again. Then what? Because it is a fact also, see the presence of Brahman in any of these things that are happening. So that the Brahma presence is increased in us, the thought of Brahman, the remembrance of Brahman. Second, the prarabdha or the prakriti which has brought us here obligatorily to do the things. We have done that also. While doing so, we have not given any undue importance for the doings as well as the results. Thus, we have avoided the future vasanas also to be formed. These are the benefits of any of the upasana. Thousands of them we know in the Puranic Bhasha. Before that, in the Vedic Bhasha, the upasana was in this way. क्षेमैति वाची योगक्षेमैति प्राणापानयोः कर्वेति हस्तयोः. Like I am doing this first upasana, kshemaiti vachi. Through my mouth, I am talking the most kshema vishaya to me as well as to all the audience. That is the discussion or talk on the Upanishad only in the Bhashya. Therefore, my upasana should be what now? In the form of this most kshema vak of study of the Upanishads or talking on Upanishad, who is expressing is Brahman only. With that, the thought of Brahman is becoming more stronger in me. And the Vani I have to speak on Upanishad, which is my and your Prarabdha, that is going on also. And because the credit is given to Brahman, that he is the one who is expressing as Vani, this action of doing pravachana will not create any of the vasanas, any of the impressions. In this way, talk Kshema and say that Kshema is Brahman. So to do the Yoga Kshema of yourself and the world and say that Yoga Kshema is Brahman. Do all the actions with the hand, noble and righteous, and according to our Varnashrama and Guru Seva and Upasana and spirituality, then say that in the form of the karma through the hand, the Brahman alone is expressing. So to visit the noble places and all with the legs and extend gratitude to that Brahma Tattva because he is there in the form of Gati in the Pada. Gati Riti Padayo. Then Vimukti Riti Payo. That is an symbolism, indication to say that at the body level, at the mind level, at the sense level, whatever the abominable are to be thrown, waste things are there which are creating our life as a mess, which are making our life like a stinking place. You know, those things have to be thrown away. And say the throwing away of that non-positive, negative things also is the Brahman only. That is the Vimuktiriti Payo. Through the Payo, we do the Malavisarjana, which is so harmful for the body, etc. So too for the mind, senses, whatever is harmful, considering it to be the mala, that has to be thrown out. And that while doing so, it is called as Parabrahma only. Vimukti iti payo. Getting ourselves freed from the bad habits at the body level, sense level, mind, intellect level. What are the bad habits? Now, for you and I, the definition of this is not at all difficult. So conspicuous, very simple and clear, direct. Any action at any level of our personality where the truth or Paramatma is not involved as the goal, all of that are the bad thoughts and actions only. So they all have to be given up like the Payu does the Vimukti of all the non-positive material from the Sharira. So Vimukti Riti Payu Vimukti. So sometimes you may have to drop some people from your life, chhod do, because they are obstruction to the sadhana. Sometimes you may have to change the place. Sometimes you have to drop the objects. Sometimes some projects, some programs, some activities, some involvements, some habits. Vimukti iti payo. We should be able to do the vimukti of them. It is in our hands. That maturity to know what I am doing throughout the day, and among that, what is helping me in spiritual evolution, what is not helping, it is a waste of time. What is that which is not only not helping but becoming hindrance? Having known crystal clearly this and holding on to those which are helping spiritual evolution and ruthlessly rejecting everything which is an obstruction or creating an impediment, that is called as Vimukti Riti Payo. A simple gross meaning is that activity at that karmendriya level is happening because of the presence of Paramatma only. Therefore, no action done by any of the instruments and no actor is given importance here. And at each of these triputi level of the action, actor, and the one on which the action is happening, we are replacing it by the Brahma Drushti. In all the Triputi, we are bringing the Brahma Drushti so that at the Vyavahara level, the Vyavahara is going on happening, but we are not missing the Brahma Tattva even in Vyavahara. With that, what happens? The Vyavahara will not become pressurizing samskaras, vasanas. Because of the Vyavahara done scrupulously, existing samskara also goes away. Such bosom is so calm and quiet. He alone can go as done by Bhruguji through the process of tapasya of transcending one by one kosha, and through Vijnanamaya, he can reach to his own essential Brahma Swarupa in Anubhuti. No ambiguity at any moment, anyway. So, this is how the Manushi Samagnya, 5 samples are given and giving us full choice freedom to recognize where else the Manushi Samagnyas have to be done. Then we have taken up the Daivi Samagnya, where the divine things that are happening in the world, which are not in our control, we may be a part of it, we may be a beneficiary of it, or we may be the person of loss in it. But we, as a sadhaka or karta, we are not there. but phenomenal things are happening. In that we are having Brahma Drushti, that is called as Atha Daivi. Then we are given in this also the six of the upasanas to be done, the Brahma upasanas. And as we saw in the introduction today, we have to do that without postponement every day on the seat of Dhyanam till it becomes a habit. Just like when you do the upasana of Salagrama as Vishnu, 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 within few months you will have that strong positive thoughts and impressions that it is Vishnu only. In the same way, these samadhyas or upasanas, when repeatedly done, then we get the strong thoughts that all of that is Brahman. And remember, these thoughts of Brahman alone will remove the thoughts of the things which are other than Brahman. Please remember, all which is other than Brahman is only the thought, initiated, entertained, sustained. That's replaced by the Brahma Vichara. So Jagat Vichara is eliminated by the Brahma Vichara. Jagat is nothing but Vichara. Understood? Nothing but the thought. The whole world is nothing but thought. So the thought of world is replaced by the thought of God. In Purana, we talk about Ramakrishna Shivana. In Upanishad Vedanta, why go Ramakrishna again? Delaying process. Straight away Brahma ka hi upasana karate hain. Thought of Brahman removes the thought of the Vyavahara and all other. This thought also gets dropped later on. Then thought free Brahma Anubhuti is gained. This is the technique. One of the technique like so many. Then most important were these great Daivi Upasanas or Daivi Samagnaha given by Shruti Mata. So, Daivi Manushi is given. Then what about Pashavi? What about Pakshigana? What about the Vanaspati? Everything will not be told. It is you who have to. You know, like it is said, not said here. Ki, the tender leaves that are coming in the tree, a wonderful bud coming out in the tree, bud is blossoming in a day or two, fully with so many of the series of petals. अरे ये सब ब्रह्म नहीं है क्या? अरे बिना ब्रह्म का कुछ है ही नहीं, सब ब्रह्म ही है. Clear? That upasana you discover and do with the hint given here. Everything is not told. मैंने लाइक एक बनाते हैं चपाती बनाकर दिखाते, doesn't mean that everything बना के दिखाते. Then what is the use of you being there? One is made and shown and you learn from it and do the remaining. So to the Daivi and Manushi Samagnya are told in all the places wherever the Atma is there of anything, discover it to be the Brahman only. Wherever the actions are happening, discover that it is the presence of Brahman. We have to bring again and again into our notice so that the Brahma Smriti, Brahma Vrittis are more than Abrahma Vrittis in us. Understand? It is necessary achievement, and for that, the practice is necessary for true spiritual growth. If you don't want, if you are happy only with some theory listening and continuing as a samsari in the world, then you need not do. Like we all don't do sadhana. Therefore, our sadhana samsara का एक दिन का भी कम नहीं होता और साधना का अनुभव का एक हल्का फुल्का भी आता भी नहीं अनुभव, because we are zero practical. And some of us are practical, but we have to go on doing till the result happens. Suddenly नहीं होता है result. Please remember, any sadhana takes time. Keep on doing. Instantaneous result नहीं होता spirituality. Never have that notion. Some rare cases, a guru does the Shaktipata to disciple, then the result comes instantaneously. Even for that, that disciple should have must have done sadhana for many lives to receive this blessing from the guru. You know, Vivekananda, touched by Ramakrishna, he got enlightenment. Not that Vivekananda got enlightenment only by touch of Bhagavan, Ramakrishna, but he prepared himself from many lives. Therefore, no chance to be given for not doing the sadhanas. They have to be consciously done only. So, truptiriti vrushtau balamiti vidyute yashaiti pashusho ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिरमृतमानन्दमित्युपस्थे. Last not the least is Sarvamityakashe. 6 of the Anuvaka. 6 of the Samajñas were given to us. We have seen also. And the last one was very consciously to be caught. Sarvamiti Akashe. Akashe means in the Akasha. Sarva means whatever is there in the Akasha is Brahman alone, is the summary of all. No, dekho, without doing the individual upasanas, suddenly everything is Brahman. This becomes only statement said out of mouth without any feeling inside. That's when Gita also, after giving all the vibhutis to Arjuna in the 10th chapter, that toward the end then he said, Yadyad vibhutimat sattvam srimad urjitam eva. So too, athava bhaunaityena kimnyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyam idam krusnam ekamshena stitaha. So a part of me I express as the world and holding it in myself, I am there. So too, anything which is vibhutimat, srimat urjitam, resplendent, full of glitter and glow, it is my own vibhuti you come to know. It is generalized, but at the end, but before you have to practice Ahatma, Gudakesha and all that. Adityanam aham Vishnu ityadi. Here also, toward the end it will be said, Sarvam iti Akashe. Akashe Sarvam iti. Akash में जो कुछ भी है, all of that Brahma only do the upasana. But that should have been told in the beginning. That's what we think. But the point is, in general, Akasha is Brahman, we do, but whatever the contents that are there in the Brahman, we again take them as real other than Brahma. The trick the mind plays. Therefore, before talking that in Akasha everything is Brahman, some of the samples we have to definitely practice as Brahman, and the deep feeling of that should come to us. That is why Vrishti mein Trupti, Vidyut mein Bala, then Pashu mein Yasho, then Nakshatra mein Jyoti, then in उपस्था में प्रजाति अमृत आनंद के रूप में हमसे उपासना कराए. Then only we are told Sarvam iti Akash. In that also 2 parts. Everything in Akasha is Brahman. Part 1, part 2 is Akasha itself is Brahman. This upasana we have to do. And luckily we told you, Akasha is Brahman for the authority. The same Upanishad, Tasmadva etasmad atmanaha Akasha sambhutaha. Now there, at the time of studying that particular Anuvaka, we have explained. Atmanaha Akasha sambhutaha. Means what? The Atma is there, Bhutaha existing. Same Atma in a particular form, Samyaku Bhutaha, expressing it, is called as Akasha. In this means what? By any means, the Akasha is never other than apart from independent of its source called as Brahma. That is meaning of Sambhuti. You know, we talked about this referring to Gita. Bhagavan says, Sambhavami yuge yuge. What is the Sambhavami? He is already there, Bhavami. Then he is expressing as an avatar for a particular work. So that expressed, be attentive, Rama or Krishna are never ever away even a moment from being Vishnu and who is expression of pure Parabrahma Tattva. Parabrahma only is Vishnu to maintain the whole world in general. The Vishnu alone is an avatara that in the maintenance time to do a particular work at any given moment. Never ever the Rama or Krishna is not Vishnu, they are Vishnu only. Never ever they are not the Brahman, they are Brahma only. I am telling you, connection between the Sarvamitya Akasha here, there, Tasmadva etasmad Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha. Samyak Bhutaha, expressed. It is infinite power of the Lord. For the further subsequent creation, the requirement of Akasha is there. In the Akasha Rupa, that Brahman alone has expressed. For at any given moment, the Akasha is never away from the Brahma. But we forgot that Akasha, the contents of Akasha, they are becoming so real to us at the cost of real reality. The changing of that process is what we are studying here as the Upasana. Just like whatever is nonsense done by the earlier governments for the 68, 70 years, the new government has to dig out all the nonsense and remove and replace it with the relevant one. You know, the Rajapatha, it has to be made as Kartavya Patha because Rajapatha is a name for that royal kings. That was a path. Obviously, there are no royal stupid kings there. Now the Patha to Kartavya bana hai because all central government offices are there, everything there. So it has to be made as Kartavya Patha. So too, you have to put the statue of greatest freedom fighter there, not something else. You see, the wrong practices are removed. So the colonial way of the law system and all of them, punishment systems are changed to IPC. Though it has become the different new name. अभी मुझे तुरंत मुंह में नहीं आ रहा है. कन्वीनियंट टू देम दे मेड दैट सिस्टम. अभी वो सब लागू नहीं है, अभी लायक नहीं है, सिर्फ उसे न्याय का पूरा हम दे नहीं सकते जो न्याय को डिजर्व करते हैं. Therefore, all the things are edited, amended, and brought to the original system. So too in so many ways. In the same way, on Brahman we have imagined the world. Now, in the world we have to imagine Brahman. That the second imagination removes the first imagination. When the imagination second is removed, first also goes away as an imagination. The reality remains. That's how the sadhana here. नहीं तो क्या होगा? On the seat of meditation, we are contemplating on Brahman. In Vyavahara, we are giving reality to Rupanama. Are we not contradicting our own sadhana? Just like in Puja Mandir, I have done puja and became a bhakta to God. Bahar aate hi, I started behaving selfishly, egoistically, demanding things from others and fighting with them. See, this is a contradiction. Is it not? It's a contradiction because the bhakta who is created in puja room alone should be continuously there throughout the day, taking the whole world as Bhagwan and serve the world. जिनको एक क्लैरिटी नहीं होता, इन वन पूजा रूम 10 मिनट दे आर भक्तास, बाहर आते ही देन दे आर सबसे बड़ा गुंडा डाकू. In the same way, in the class and on the seat of meditation, we are contemplating seriously, no doubt about it, Brahma ke upar hi. But the moment we open eyes and go into the world Utthana Sthiti, non-sadhana Sthiti, if you give reality to the world, again, are not those vasanas becoming stronger in us? Is it not? Just like in bhakti also, you are doing upasanas of bhakti, so beautiful. But when you see the world, you are taking the world as real. Therefore, you are contradicting your own sadhana. Therefore, in the world, when you see all the things, do the upasana, that there are vibhutis of Bhagwan. That's what we just referred now. Very essential it is. Otherwise, we can't cancel our own sadhana. It's like taking good medicine for curing of disease and also eating those foods which create the disease. क्या फायदा उसका? That is why the Brahma Upasana is so very essential. Let it click to us at this very moment. Let us take it genuinely, seriously, and sincerely. Luckily, we are already doing Daiva Upasana. This is Bhagavan Krishna, this is by Rama and all. Now, instead of Krishna and Rama, you say Brahma because the goal is Brahman. Today we'll see the whole Brahma Devas Stuti of Lord Rama. ये सब इसमें भी आएगा. So beautiful are these things. We are studying this thought of Sarvamiti Akashe. Okay, yeah. Then the next one is what? In the Akasha, everything is Brahman. Finally, Akasha itself is Brahman. It is ever Brahman only. In our mind, because of misguidance, Akasha and the contents of the Akasha are taken to be something other than Brahman. We are just reversing the negative process by replacing it by the correct positive process that everything is Brahman. The whole world is manifest Brahman. Please remember. And that Brahman in an unmanifest form is my own essential self. Therefore, myself manifest is the world. The unmanifest world is my own real self. Therefore, world be identified with. Don't have any uh, relation relative with the world. When you have true identity, with that we don't have any further relativity. Through that identity to something else, we may have the relativity. Like with the body, I have identity. There's no more relativity. Related to the body, whatever I have, whatever the things that are there around or the beings, to them I have the relativity. Like I am not an uncle to my body, but through the body, somebody is I am uncle, and to somebody I am the somebody is my uncle. Like that. So sarvamityakashe. We have come up to this point. Now comes very important. कि, Tacha akasham brahma eva. That akasha is brahma. Don't make a sentence vocally said and forget it. As much as possible, the akasha is Brahman alone. That upasana we have to do. Like the earlier also. तृप्ति वृष्टौ बलमिति विद्युति, ये चारों और ये भी बार बार हमको उपासना करना है. नहीं किया तो the thoughts that it is Brahman will not come. Thoughts that the world of names and form is real will not go away. Then we will never develop the sufficient poise for contemplating on the nature of Brahman as Satyam Jnanam Anantam to discover him. Therefore, the upasana is inevitable. Mm. Brahma upasana. Narayana. Now comes the very important sequence of 6 things. Okay, 5 and 6 are over. 5 Manushi Samagnya are over. 6 Daivi Samagnyas are over. Now 6 more Brahma Upasanas, all of the Upasanas only, are now set. First one is what? Ki Tasmat. Because, be attentive, the Akasha is understood finally to be the Brahman. Now we are adding here the Chidakasha, the Chittakasha and Bhutakasha for our once for all clarity. Need not say one by one later. Otherwise, ek to bata diya. Swamiji, you have explained to us, yes, Akasha is the one in which everything is there. Therefore, Akasha is said as Brahman. Therefore, the Pratishtha and all you are going to talk. But what about the Chittakasha? What about Chidakasha? So these doubts should never come to us. Therefore, even though in the mantra and bhashya, this is not touched, for our sake we can touch it. That it is talking about 3 Akashas. Chittakash, Chidakash and Bhutakash. All these are grains of manifestation of one thing only. Please remember, the whole world is manifestation of only one Brahman. There are no so many things. One alone in so many ways or forms. ये तो बेसिक थॉट है. ये तो हम पहले दिन से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं, भूलना नहीं इसको. उसी का हम प्रैक्टिस यहाँ हो रहा है. Okay. Now, because everything is in the Akasha, because everything in the Akasha is Brahman, and because Akasha itself also is Brahman, this is what the 3 things we have done just before. Now, following that, depending on that, is the next, first of the next set of 6, the Samagnyas that Shruti Mata is telling us. What is that first one? Ki Shankara Bhagavan says, Tasmat. Tasmat. Therefore, tat means Brahma, Sarvasya, of everything, Pratishtha, iti upasita. There's a mantra. Mantra को याद रखना. सर्वमित्याकाशे तत्प्रतिष्ठेत्युपासीत. तत् से पहले तस्मात् को ऐड करना पड़ता है. Because of the above reason is connecting between that sentence that everything in the Akasha is Brahman. Akasha itself also is Brahman. Tasmat. Therefore, tat Brahma is what is to be done upasana here? Tat pratishtha iti is the mantra. Naturally, Shankara Bhagavan is adding in the Bhashya Sarvasya. Therefore, tat Brahma sarvasya pratishtha iti upasita. Clear? Tat Brahma Sarvasya Pratishtha iti Upasita. So Pratishtha means base. Pratishtha means substratum. Pratishtha means support. Brahman alone is Pratishtha for everything. Like in Bhakti Shastra, Lord Krishna is a supporter, the Ashraya for everyone, everything. Therefore, become Krishna Bhakta. How wonderful! Today also we'll see Stuti of Yudhishthira, maybe one or two shlokas only. In the earlier, we saw how all the other kings congratulated the Yadavas for their fortune to be with Krishna, and Krishna's glory was explained at that time. He is told to us as a Pratishtha. But Krishna and Rama are Pratishtita on what? You know, the whole world is, let us say, Pratishtita on them. But Krishna and Rama also are Pratishtita on something, and that is Brahman. About that Brahman here we are discussing. So, Tata Sarvasya Pratishtha iti Upasita. सबका सपोर्ट के रूप में, सबस्ट्रेटम के रूप में, आधार के रूप में वो ब्रह्म ही है, ऐसे हमको उपासना करना है. So therefore, in the the right side of your pocket, you put your own government given Aadhaar card. In the left side of the heart or your body, keep the Brahman as the Aadhara for everything, and that Brahman I am the second Aadhara card. Because it is the Aadhara, it is a Pratishtha. Tat Pratishtha iti Upasita. And because it's being support, it is therefore very, very famous also. And therefore, the Pratishtha as word, another meaning also, famous. Both Pratishthit व्यक्ति है, established, therefore famous. है कि नहीं? इस कार्य क्षेत्र में इस व्यक्ति से बढ़कर प्रतिष्ठावान और कोई नहीं है. He is very famous. Why? Because he is established in that by mastering it. And somebody, each one is pratishtita in something. So beautiful in the world. Now, from here, for this next, the 6 of the Samagnyas, to encourage, inspire us, the Shruti Mata is giving Phala Shruti also. So, first one, if you do the Upasana of the Brahman as the Pratishtha for Sarvasya, for everything is support. Without his support, nothing can remain. In this way, when you do the Upasana, what is the Phala Shruti that is given to us? कि कहते हैं तच्च आकाशम ब्रह्मैव तस्मात् तत् सर्वस्य प्रतिष्ठा इति उपासिता. Then pratishtha guna upasanat, because of doing the upasana of the pratishtha guna on Parabrahma, the result we get is pratishthavan bhavati. If we contemplate on Brahman as the pratishtha for everything, we become pratishthavan. We become stationed, we become established, we become famous, we become rooted, unperturbed, undisturbed, unshaken. We ourselves become Pratishthavan. Because Brahman finally is to be experienced as my own self. So therefore, if Brahman is Pratishtha, in that way we Upasana, we also get Pratishthavan. Where we become Pratishthavan? Outwardly, whichever the field you choose. Inwardly, obviously in Brahman only. है कि नहीं? अंदर में ब्रह्म रूपी प्रतिष्ठा में हम प्रतिष्ठित होंगे. बाहर, when we do the pratishtha of Brahman as pratishtha as everything, support of everything, in that particular whatever the outer field we are given or chosen, we become pratishtita. Wonderful. Like Indra, he is pratishtita in his own Indra pada. Varuna, Vayu, Agni, Kubera. They have done the upasana of the Brahman to be the pratishtha, the supporter, the adhara. Therefore, they themselves have become adhara to that particular given post outside Indra as Indra, Brahma as Brahma, Varuna as Varuna. So too, if you see in the world somebody as a prime minister, Pratishthavan Bhavati. Outer Vyavahar ki baat, chief minister, Pratishthavan Bhavati. What is the meaning of Pratishthavan Bhavati? He gets rooted not in that kursi for his own namesake and power. No. The subtle point is what that kursi is aimed at. In doing that, he becomes pratishtita. that special charm or blessings come to him. Excellent thought, is it not? If somebody is, let's say, home minister, if he does upasana of Brahman to be the pratishtha of everything, tat pratishthet upasita, then in his home affairs he becomes pratishthavan. Means for what purpose that home ministry is given to you, exactly that only you do. That itself is a great contribution to the world and a joy to you. And opposition parties are always there to find fault, to pull you down. And that always will be there, like the American BBC, how on a British or BBC, how uselessly they have reported our Chandrayaan 3 mission, the accomplishment of ours. Not even one word in their 4.5 minutes spoke positively. They only spoke about the comparatively. They say if the China sends, they reach in 6 days. If America sends, they reach in 10 days. If the Japan sends, they will reach in 12 days. But India took 40 days. They go negative way. All the points only in narrowing our glory, negative only they have put it. 7, 8 points they spoke. That reader, news reader. So that they have to inform to their national people that India has launched or sent the craft to the moon, yet that is not glorious. So that the other their nation people should not respect our Desh, Bharat Mata. Therefore, they represented like that. Very funny that was. You listen to that. The BBC's reported on the Chandrayaan 3 success. आप करके देखो all those sentences. So to go to the Chinese, more worst than this BBC was the Chinese representation. Like in the last second Chandrayaan when failed, how many useless mouths have spoken that instead of giving the food to the poor and needy, spending 900 crores just for a waste, how many useless fellows have spoken? Not minding the glorious efforts of our great scientists and all. What I am telling is, the negative people to talk negative will always be there. But that should never be the criteria of justifying the position what we are given. The criteria of justification is, have we done well for that, whatever position we are given. That's called pratishtha. So pratishthavan bhavati means what? He crystal clearly knows what is the identity given to him, what are the duties, responsibilities associated, endowed with that, and exactly those things are expressed through that person. That's the meaning of pratishthavan bhavati. I give you two examples. No, you do everything. Yes, a singer is there. So if he does the upasana of the Brahman to be pratishtha of everything, slowly inside he'll become nearer to Brahman. But outside in his profession of singing, he becomes pratishthavan. Means what? The singing is for what? Exactly that he does. Singing is through entertainment, melody, quietening the mind of the people. So he will do only that job. Yes, again, your singing is being questioned or doubt or labeled by the world. That you can't avoid it. They will question your lyrics, question your tone, tune, music that's taken, the instruments, the orchestration, and the location, the scene. अरे भाई कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना ना. I'm just telling it once or twice so that it is said once for all. Every time we should not worry about. But मैंने इतना अच्छा काम किया, मुझे पता है मैं जो काम किया तो इतना बढ़िया, इसमें मेरा थोड़ा भी ना घमंड है, ना स्वार्थ है, ना अहंकार है, बट फिर भी क्यों मुझे ब्लेम कर रहे हैं? तो ब्लेम करना ही दुनिया का एकमात्र लक्षण है. You don't worry about it. So select and delete that aspect. See the positive. Positive is when we do the upasana Brahman to be pratishtha, we become pratishtita in our whatever the outer field or identity which are given. And obviously, when I am given an identity and I get pratishtita in that by doing whatever the duties I have to do associated with that, am I not clearing all my vasanas? Am I not clearing all my prarabdhas? Am I not clearing all my rinanubandhanam? Then is it not going to purify me? Is it not going to make me introverted? See the result of it. That's the meaning of Shruti Mata says, Tat pratishtha idupasita pratishthavan bhavati. And naturally, when he is established in doing the duty, whoever the onlookers look at, they recognize him. And his greatness, that he doesn't go here and there, he does exactly what is his duty. और कोई भी व्यक्ति अपना धर्म निर्वहन करता है ना, तो समष्टि का उनके लिए सपोर्ट होता है. Some of the people, as I said, now opposition party will be there, like the next election. Definitely the same team will win because of the dharma nirvahana they are doing. Definitely they have to win. Unless the country is such a terrible prarabdha, it is there in the wretched prarabdha, that in spite of such great patriots, that we select the selfish घोटाले वाले. अब वो प्रारब्ध का तो कोई कुछ कह नहीं सकता. Like even after getting freedom with so many life sacrifice, didn't we get such useless government for 65 years, in which the development is less, division is more, production is less, eating the money is more, troubling the people is more than giving them all the opportunities, avenues to evolve. अब प्रारब्ध था हमारा, फिर वो हो गए है तो nobody can say, but otherwise theoretically on papers the same government will have to continue because doing dharma. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट प्रतिष्ठा में कैसा हम एस्टैब्लिश होता है. प्रतिष्ठेत उपासिता प्रतिष्ठावान भवति, because when one does what he has to do, he will become definitely famous. तत् ब्रह्मेत तत् प्रतिष्ठेत उपासिता प्रतिष्ठावान भवति. Now see, now connect it to everything in your life. And first of all, the sankalpa should be, oh Lord, whatever I am given a position, status in my life. One, I have to know and fulfill those duties perfectly. Second, it should lead me to my own inner spiritual evolution. ये दोनों बातों को पहले मन में रखना है. Like I am now here as सत्संगी प्रवचन. Oh Lord, let me do the justice to this work of doing pravachana on Upanishad and Bhashyam and Ramayana perfectly. Second, that should lead me for my own inner spiritual journey toward you, the self, not it should carry away me anywhere. Having done this sankalpa or desire, now let me do the upasana, that everything is established in pratishtha Brahman. Brahman is the pratishtha of everything. इसका उपासना मुझे करने से भगवान से प्रतिष्ठावान भवति. What sankalpa I said, that I must be a speaker of the Shastra for full justification of it, leading for my own inner journey, that will happen. In the same way, somebody is a husband. So he wants to be an ideal husband to give the best to the wife. So let him do the upasana that Brahma is pratishtha of everything. He will be pratishtita as a Brahma, husband there. That doesn't mean that he will make the wife happy. If she is happy, why can he? How can she be called as wife? They won't. But you are clear कि what to be done, you have done it. है कि नहीं? आपके अंदर से जो पहले ग्लानि थी कि आई एम नॉट डन, आई हैव नॉट डन व्हाट आई शुड हैव डन, that will go away because you will be doing the best what you have to do as a husband as per shastras. But the other spouse, she realizes it or not, responses or not, all that depends again her nature and her upasana. If she is also doing the pratishtha upasana, then she will also be ideal. है कि नहीं? अब दोनों इतना बढ़िया जुगलबंदी हो जाता है, then both of them while going through grahastha ashrama, at right time they become deep in their spiritual sadhana, like the example of that Yajnavalkya and Maitreyi. You know, in our Puranas, Vedic Kal mein, how many pairs of the wife and husband of Rishi Muni, both of them have become spiritual giants. Because both of them done the Brahma Pratishtha Upasana, they were Pratishtita in their family as long as it is required. Then later on, when they changed their goal to be spiritual, that also was blessed to them. By the way, keep it in mind. I'm just giving some examples. You know, like a father, I want to be Pratishtita. Then do the Pratishtha of Brahman as Upasana. Brahman is the Pratishtha of everything. This Upasana we do. Then as a father to your children, what exactly to be done, that will be done. No regrets and guilt to you. Again, will that fellow use it or not, grow or not? It is not in your hands. उसका प्रारब्ध है. Like Kunti and or Pandu. So they have done the Pratishtha Upasana. They did what best they can do for their children. The Dhritarashtra never did it, therefore he only spoiled his children. Most irresponsible of the fathers. He saw to it that they died in front of his own eyes. तो उनको स्टेमिना नहीं मिला because he never thought about Paramatma or Brahman as a support of all. Therefore, these blessings did not come on him. Pratishtavan bhavati. So he will establish in his profession and he will become famed and named in the world if one is doing the upasana that for everything sarvasya brahma eva pratishta iti upasita. Clear? Tasmat tat sarvasya pratishta iti upasita pratishta guna upasanat pratishtavan bhavati. Evam, in this way, purveshu api yad yatra adhikatam phalama tad brahma eva. So in the earlier flow also, whatever upasanas are done, that phala comes to you. Add this there also. We have not shared it because that topic did not come there. Here it came, therefore we are adding this to there. Therefore, Kshema iti vachi. Okay, in the Vani, when you speak Kshema for everyone and do that upasana that this Kshema is Brahman only, Kshema comes back to us. क्योंकि प्रतिष्ठा के रूप में किया उपासना के हम प्रतिष्ठावान बन गए. नो ऐड दिस टू द अर्लियर वंस. वाणी में क्षेम भगवान है, इस तरह उपासना करते हुए क्षेम वाणी हमने एक्सप्रेस की तो वी गेट क्षेम. So to through pranayama, when you take the yogakshema as Brahman and try to bring yogakshema to the world, we get the yogakshema. Yogakshema van bhavati, we have to add it. So to with the hands we do exhaustive karmas and then do the upasana of that karma to be the Brahman. Then to us whatever is required at different time from the totality, the actions of the services are done. So to Gatariti Padayoho when we do, then the Lord through various pada come to us for our own help, whatever is required. So to when we do the vimukti of the non-positive, so to no negative comes to us also from the whole world. In this way we have to do. So to when you do the upasana, that in the Vrishti Brahman is there as Trupti, so we become Truptavan. And can there be any richness than being contented with Truptaha? That is the meaning of Shankara here. Says ki evam purveshu api, in all earlier 5 plus 6, in those 11 samagnyas also, upasanas of Brahman also, yad yatra adhikatam phalam tad brahma eva. So whatever you are doing, that phala comes to you as Brahman himself. Oh. So tad upasanat tadva anubhavati iti drashtavyam. Okay, वो जो उपासना से वही फल उनको मिलता है ऐसा भावना करो. तद उपासनात तद्वान भवति इति द्रष्टव्यम. So too in the vidyut, if you do the upasana that the balam is there, that balam is Brahman, then we become balavan. That phala comes to us. So yasha iti pashu. When we say that in the pashu Bhagavan is there in the form yashaha, we become yashovan. We become famous. We get that. Brahma, which is like yasha. Because we are doing the upasana of the Brahma that way. So that Brahma's particular, that aspect or expression comes to us. That's what he says. Ki tad upasanat tadvan bhavati iti drashtavyam. Uska upasana karne se wo tumko milta hai, isko mind mein rakho. So to Jyotiriti nakshatreshu. In the nakshatras, Bhagavan is there in the Jyoti. Then we discover our own inner Jyoti. हम खुद ही ज्योति स्वरूप बनते हैं. We become light to others. We become the torch bearer to others to show the lamp. ज्योति जो काम करते वो हमको आ जाएगा. So to the last one, what is that? Prajatir amrutamanandam iti upaste. In the upasta, if you do the upasana that Brahman alone is in the form of Prajati amrutam and anandam. So that Prajati, the very good children, the Amrita, they doing whatever they have to do for us Amritatva, that they will do. Then it gives us Ananda. In that way, जिसका हम उपासना कर रहे हैं ब्रह्म का जिस रूप में, वो वाला हमको बेनिफिट के तौर पर पहले दिया जाता है, ब्लेसिंग, बिकॉज वी आर डूइंग उपासना. सो तदुपासना तद्वान भवति इति द्रष्टव्यम. श्रुत्यंतराच्च. आई एम नॉट जस्ट टेलिंग इट जस्ट लाइक दैट आउट ऑफ हैंड. देयर इज सम अनदर श्रुति माता वेयर दिस इज प्रूव्ड. भगवान शंकर के लिए तो सारे मेरे दूसरे उपनिषद ही आधार है, अथॉरिटी है फॉर हिम टू से एनीथिंग. रिमेंबर, like when we are studying Adhyatma Ramayana, before which when you have studied Bhagavan Adi Shankara's Atma Bodha, we are knowing that all the shlokas in Atma Bodha are there in Adhyatma Ramayana. In the same way, if you have studied all the Upanishads and then you study Shankara Bhashya, you will know the Bhashyakara's Bhashya is only from the other Upanishads and authority only. He never does anything from his head. No need. उपनिषद इज सफिशिएंट अथॉरिटी. और मेरे को क्यों अपने तरफ से कुछ कहना है, वो कहते नहीं हो. So somewhere else in some Upanishad that will be there, he brings it as an authority here to explain. Example is this one. कि that upasana whatever you do, you become that. इसके लिए एक authority है. What it is? श्रुत्यंतराच्च. It is said in the शतपथ ब्राह्मण कि तम यथा यथा उपासते तदेव भवति. So simple, so direct. In whatever the way he does upasana Brahman, tatha eva sabhava tadeva bhavati, he himself will become that or gets that. In Gita yeda mam prabhadyante tan tatha eva bhajami. Vartman vartante manusya partha sarvasha. Already it has been given. So same is your authority. Yatha yatha upasate tata tata bhavati. This authority, from that standpoint only I am telling, my dear, if somebody does the pratishtha upasana Brahman, he become pratishthavan. Shruti Mata said. Then the remaining things she did not say. I am just telling with the authority. Therefore क्षेम इति वाची योग क्षेम इति उपासना करो तो तुम खुद भी योग क्षेम वाले योग क्षेम वाले बनोगे. So to you do the truptiriti vrishto balamiti vidyuti yashiti pashishu jyotiriti nakshatreshu prajatiramaritamanetyupaste. With this upasana you yourself will get all of them. That is the meaning of yatha upaste tadrupena bhavati. Koi yatha yatha upasate tadeva bhavati is the meaning. So clear it is given. So we have seen two things. Tat pratishtetyupasita pratishthavan bhavati. One thing we have seen. Now the second one is called Tan Mahaidupasita. Maho Mahatva Gunavat Tadupasita. So Tad Maha Idupasita. As a substratum support, that was over Pratishtha word. Here Maha. Maha means Mahonnata Gunavatu. Mahatva Gunavatu Maho. Maho means Mahatva Gunavatu. Oh, great and grand and glorious qualities, because of which somebody becomes Mahana. All of them are there in Brahman only. This upasana we have to do. That's the meaning of second of the 6 upasanas, of the third set of upasanas. 3 sets. Set 1, set 2, set 3. In the set 1, the 5. The Manushi Samagnaha. In set 2, the 6, the Daivi Samagnaha, Trupti Tirushto Ityadi. Then the third one, again, set of 6. Samagnya Upasanas are told. One we have seen, Tat Pratishtet Upasita, Pratishthavan Bhavati. Second is Tat Mahaid Upasita. Maha is Maho, means Mahan Gunavan. Mahatva Gunavatu Tad Upasita. So in this world, so many great Gunas qualities are that are seen. Guna means values, Guna means very positive emotions, etc. Gunas also means special abilities and qualities. वो वाला उपासना तन महा इति उपासित. Maha इति उपासित Guna. So, Maha ability, like yesterday, some Filmfare awards are given. So in each of the fields, somebody is specially selected and given. Best cinema, best actor, support actor, whatever. So they are Maha now. No, in that Maha Rupa, Brahma ka mein upasana karna. Is it not? Like yesterday, the chess. Indian, he has lost, but somebody won. So good that people have congratulated him, the winner. Then this boy also, young prodigy, including Prime Minister, they have wished him for the best in the future. But that Maha is Brahman only. वी हैव टू डू इन उपासना. उसको जाके नहीं बोलना, अरे तूने जीता इसलिए क्योंकि तुम्हारे अंदर ब्रह्म है. इट इज नॉट टू बी डन. In our mind, we have to do it. Now the ISRO has put the thing Vikram there in the moon, Dakshina Dhruva. Now, who has, that's because of Brahma Swarup only. Did you see that yesterday we put a message? Thank you to Bhagwan Chandamama that he allowed the aircraft or whatever is to land on him. If doesn't allow, it will not land. There is Bhagwan Chandra is there. ये उनकी कृपा से हुआ है. नहीं तो कहीं गिरा देंगे. वो इतने होल्स आर देयर, पॉट होल्स देयर इन चंदमामा. दिस विज्ञान प्रज्ञान विक्रम विक्रम ये घुस जाएगा उसमें, दिखेगा नहीं वो. देयर आर ह्यूज वैलीज, ये वो सब कुछ है. इफ इट आर लैंडेड इन ए सेफ स्मूथ सरफेस, इट इज भगवान का कृपा है. बिकॉज सो मेनी ऑफ अस प्रेड, हे चंदमामा प्लीज अलो. सो दैट इज व्हाट द महा इति उपासित, महान भवति. है कि नहीं? महा, wherever the maha is there. This is called Gita में यद्यद विभूतिमत सत्वम श्रीमद ऊर्जितम एव वा तत्तत एव अवगच्छत्वम मम तेजोंश संभव. Wherever is things are seen as श्रीमत, ऊर्जितम, विभूतिमत. Vibhutimat, Srimat and Urjitam. Urjitam is full of energy. Srimat is full of this brightness, brilliance. Vibhuti means in variety ways. Vibhuti means alag varieties. Okay, like if you go to a flower garden, so many varieties of flowers are there. That is called Vibhutimat. In that, each of the flower is full of its own beauty. It is called as Srimat. And that beauty is giving us ours the joy special, elating our minds. That is called as Urja, Urjita. That Urja, by seeing that flower, we get it, a special energy. The power in the flower to inspire us. The glow of flower is Srimat. Power to influence us is Urja. The variety of flowers is called Srimat. Sorry, Vibhutimat. So in that an example way, यद्यद विभूतिमत श्रीमत ऊर्जितम. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू गीता का, बिकॉज कोट किया तो थोड़ा तो सेटिस्फैक्टरली जवाब देना है ना. That's why we are studying Upanishad. I am aware. For that, I took the example quotation of Gita. Same thing is here also, there also. Tad maha iti upasita. So here maha means yadyad vibhutimat srimat urjitam. All that tat tat eva avagachatvam mama tejo amsha sambhavam. It is a amsha of my own teja, that anything in the world is vibhutimat or srimat or urjitam. As said there in Gita, what is said in Upanishad, absolutely same. कोई भी करो दोनों में फल एक ही होगा. दो चीज दो अलग नहीं बताए. The way of saying वो तो पौराणिक उपनिषद गीता way of saying that is, it is Upanishadic way. वहाँ लॉर्ड कृष्णा says कि I am so, here Upanishad says that it is Brahman. You do the upasana that to be Brahman, whichever is Mahan. Tat Maha iti upasita. Maha, everything like mountains. The Himalayan range of mountains, that big peak. Kanchenjunga or Everest, whatever you call, he is that. Like that, so many in the world fall in the category of something extraordinary, not like ordinary. They are all Maha. So in that Maha के रूप में ब्रह्मा ही है, ऐसा उपासना करो. Then you become Mahan. And what is the meaning of that? Tomorrow we'll study. A very good topic. And then Tanmahiti Bhasa Mahanva Tanmaniti Bhasa Manava Tanmahiti Namyantesme Kamaha. Oh, beautiful are there. Next 3 or 4. These samagnyas which are given to us. When thereafter, when all these are practiced, then we become qualified to discover that truth which is there common behind both the cause and effect. That state comes to us. When that comes to us, then we just transcend each of these koshas and discover oneness with the Brahmanubhuti, and then sing the song of Samagana from our mouth involuntarily. The joy of the bliss of discovery. Like as I say, the Chandrayaan. All scientists were very highly dignified and meditative. उनको उतना क्लैप करना ही सबसे बड़ा हंगामा है, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट सो मच फ्री इन देयर माइंड एंड बॉडी, देयर इंटेलेक्ट इज सो मच इन्वॉल्व ओनली इन द रिसर्च ऑल द टाइम. उनको ताली बजा के इंडिया का झंडा बताने बिग फेस्टिवल, बट ऑल ओवर द कंट्री एंड द वर्ल्ड, the other 8 crores of people who watched live, see their excitement, their joy. I have seen at least 7 8 of them. Then the couples are watching, they are hugging each other. कोई टेबल को मार रहा है, कोई तो एक रो ही रहा था कि लैंड होगा कि नहीं. बट द अम्मा नो, वन लेडी एंड अदर जेंटल, दे वर ओनली फ्राइटेंड. करे दो भगवान भगवान ऐसा कर रहे थे. When it landed without any crash or problem, jumped only with joy. Ha, woo, ha. I'm explaining Samagana. They were so excited, happy for 1 minute. एक तो थे ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल, देन दे हग्ड ईच अदर, मिठाइयाँ खिलाए. अदर प्लेस वाज ऑल अलोन, अकेले तो क्या करें, वो इधर जा रहा है उधर जा रहा है. लाइक हनुमान जी when he saw Mandodari and thought Sita, he himself was climbing the pillar, coming down, jumping, उल्टा पुल्टा कर रहे थे. In Valmiki Ramayana it comes. So this ha, who is Samagayan Aste. All these things we'll study in next 10 days it will take. I won't finish it one day because slowly we are doing these upasanas. They will be there somewhere in the core of our heart. When we are doing sadhana, when we fail, we come to know that we have not done these upasanas, therefore that's a failure. Then we start doing upasana, automatically that opens the door. Upasanas are the open door for meditation. Meditation is open door for the experience of the self. Otherwise, why will at the end of this great Upanishad, Shruti Mata conclude with the Upasanas? Is it not? So let us know all this subsequently. Om, 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 Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramarashibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Namam Tatsad Brahmarpanamastu. Today's that 7 minutes of introduction, which was, after which I stopped to change into that YouTube. Just listen once more. Only 7 minutes it is. The thought is not incomplete. It has flown into the post break period for 1 or 2 minutes. Yes. Join for Yoga Darshanam.